Hi everyone, I'm Lillian.
And I'm Felipe.
And we are the Postmodern family.
We are Americans living in the UK, searching for Great Britain.
We make 3 new videos every week, and we would love it if you subscribed.
In this episode, in light of all the news about Harry and William and the royal family, we thought we would react to the famous Panorama interview of Princess Diana with Martin Bashir. So I don't know about you, but growing up, my mother and her sister and my grandma all loved Princess Diana. It was like a big celebrity. She was innocent. She could do no wrong. She was precious. And these are just Nicaraguans from a dirt poor third world country. No connection to the empire of Great Britain at all.
I think in America,
they weren't
Princess Diana.
No, I mean, but my grandma was not.
I know that they're not in America. I'm talking about in general, even Americans.
I know that.
Like...
That's a given.
Oh, okay.
That's a given. I'm just saying her fame was so wide and so large that even Nicaraguans were all into her. Was your family into Diana at all?
Not particularly, but I think they like she was pretty, and my dad would be like, "Oh yeah, she's pretty."
My dad, she's pretty at top.
I'd
have me some of that.
Yeah, my mom didn't really say much about her, but I really liked her. I think she was really pretty, and
just because she was pretty.
Yeah, I didn't know any controversies about her. It was kind of like, you know how people follow what Kate wears.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, oh, what is she wearing next?
Oh,
like,
I see.
She's a fashion icon.
I see. So with all this business about Harry and Meghan, it's interesting because I've never watched any interviews. I've never seen her speak. I was too little to know anything. And I wasn't into her. So I don't even know what she sounds like. I don't know what her personality was like or anything. But apparently this was a groundbreaking interview where she revealed everything about all her troubles in a very un-English fashion, just sort of airing your dirty business out.
I think it's a sign that things are going downhill quickly, though. If you're that desperate to like go public about these things.
Yeah, so I think this was after they separated, her and Charles. I don't quite know where in the timeline this is, but I reckon it's very soon there, around that time, I think, anyway.
Okay.
But let's have a listen.
She didn't pass the to a girl to make her feel better.
Right.
And then they caught it and then blasted it, I guess.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, I had read a biography by the butler who lived and served Diana. And
you read the whole thing?
Yeah, it was a long time ago though. I was like a teenager. Because I was very curious about the whole, Princess Diana dying. Like, why did that happen, and how did it lead to that? So I'm a little bit not sure where in the timeline they're talking about. And I also didn't know all the slip-ups, all the things that they were criticizing her about. Like, I never heard that in the book that I read. It didn't paint Diana as much of a victim as
this interview
she's portraying herself as. And then it mainly focused on her affairs that had happened and how that could have been the driving
But you think that was psyops on the part of the royal family to discredit her?
Because the butler had like a gag order basically for the butler hadn't published this for about 10 years until after.
So this was after everything. Okay.
So it was kind of like, I guess, I think it was the butler was getting old and he wanted to just finally let it out. But
that could be part of the groundwork for the public to accept Camilla. See, because Camilla's the girlfriend where who he apparently was sleeping with before he married her, during their marriage, and now he's married to her.
Yeah. I don't know. He also did seem like he did say that Diana was very worried about being hurt by by, like, she knew that she was on dangerous grounds. Like, her life was in danger.
From the beginning?
No, near the end, with the threats of yeah. But it's been a long time since I read that book. I don't remember the name of it. But it's interesting because the way she's talking, I mean, clearly she's like airing out all of her dirty laundry to be painted as a victim. That's clearly what she's doing here. There are probably lots of things that are very valid about her statements, like getting married so young, growing up, you know, having to deal with growing up while being in the royal family and you're constantly being watched. That must be horrible. But at the same time, I just feel like she's in this interview, it sounds like she's very lost. Like she doesn't have, she's not anchored in anything. And I kind of want to I wish that like maybe if she was Christian and very dedicated and that she could find that anchor, that thing that's going to keep her steady. But if there's nothing to keep her steady, it's just going to toss her to and fro into this bulimia and depression. And then
what did she say they called her? Diana the unstable.
She was unstable.
So then do you think that instability has passed on to Harry? Does he seem unstable?
I don't know. You told me that he enlisted and
he served, but he's been troubled. He's always been known as troubled. Hanging out with the wrong sorts of people, partying, etc. And that's part of the reason why he was endeared to the public, because he seemed
like one of them,
who's going through troubles and blah blah blah.
What was the movie or show we watched where he played like
Charles III?
Yeah, and he was just like out sleeping around with like some black girl that like he wanted to be with, and then decided against it for his family's sake or something. And anyway, they definitely painted him as just like this guy who just wants to be as far away from the royal family as possible. I don't know if that's true.
So as my first introduction to Diana,
what do you think of her?
She paints a very sympathetic, figure. Her eyes are quite sad. She's like speaking barely above a whisper throughout the interview.
At the same time, she's not stumbling on her words, and she doesn't, like I do, just like drag on or pause in between. She speaks, then she stops. And
she speaks like she's writing, like she would be writing, which
it's quite nice.
How could she? Nice. Yeah, she doesn't give this sense of being a dummy, like never passing an A level or whatever.
No. Yeah, and I think, I mean, I really liked her growing up, like I said, because she was beautiful and always in the spotlight. But I can't imagine what kind of torture it would have been if her marriage was unstable. Like, I would feel very lonely if I was in that position. And if she didn't have anything to stabilize her.
I mean, cutting herself and bulimia, that's...
Yeah. I mean, that's people struggle with that every day because our world seems to get further and further apart as we get more people are lonely, I think. But now let's bring this back to Meghan Markle. Is basically Meghan suffering under the same idea where
Meghan is not 20 years old entering in. She's 35, 36 or whatever she was in the spotlight already, although not blaring A-list level, but still in the spotlight. Already been married once, so she knows what marriage is about.
And divorce. No, she knows what that's about too.
Yeah. So I don't get the sense that she would be as vulnerable as Diana would be.
Because some people have painted her a little bit like a Diana in the sense that she has been
Harry himself
under scrutiny. Yes. He has.
He says, I've seen the press destroy my mother. I'm not going to let it do the same my wife.
I almost envision Meghan more like the Wallace Simpson.
Yeah.
The one who broke up, who basically, what was his name? I always get him confused. David Windsor. Yes. Where he...
they weren't Windsors at that point, were they?
No, I don't think so. He was still a German name, right?
I can't remember. They changed to the German name in World War One, just before World War One. So yeah, he would have been Windsor, I think.
Oh, okay.
David Windsor.
Yeah, to make basically for a woman to come into the scene and then make him abdicate the throne. Like, it's almost like clearly Harry's not in line for the throne, or he is in line, but like what, six or
something like that. Yeah.
We understand that there's not that much pressure on him, but I just don't like the idea that a woman is coming into this family and breaking it up. It's just not nice. Like. And I don't think it's freedom in the sense that people view it as like, oh, you should be free to be on your own and do whatever you want and throw off all your duties and your responsibilities. I think that's a very immature way to approach life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think of the interview? You liked it?
I'm shocked that
she said so much.
Yeah. And that this was allowed to happen.
Maybe
like, I love what the Queen, is it what the Queen, I don't know who said it or who continues to say it, but never respond and never explain or something like that about press coverage. Never respond and never explain. You just move on with your life. And
sometimes I feel like that this is an offshoot, we can cut it out, but sometimes when we're in the like an Anglican service and like someone's praying or reading the scripture and they like mess a word up, they don't fix it. They just keep going. Like, and I think that's a bit like it, where basically you get it. You understand what it really meant, and you just keep going like nothing happened. Yeah. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below and let us know what your views are on the royal family and maybe the Diana controversy. And leave links for things that we should react to.
If you really like what we do and just observing you guys, you can become a patron at patreon.com/thepostmodernfamily.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.